morning, class. I am your teacher, Mylene, and welcome to our virtual classroom. Okay, so before anything else, we will begin our class with an opening prayer. So, may I request Miss Reese to please lead us in the prayer. Okay, thank you so much. So, before we proceed, may I know if you're all excited for this morning's discussion? So, let me hear from Andres. Okay, thank you so much. I am very glad that you're all excited. So, to start with, may I hear from Miss Angie? So, can you please tell us about what have we done last meeting? Okay, very good. So, last meeting, we discussed about the importance of sanitation in the kitchen. And now let's proceed to our motivation. So we will be playing a game entitled Name Me. So all you need to do is to give the appropriate name of every pictures that I will be showing. So for this one, you can turn on your microphone if you want to answer, but if somebody is already talking, then automatically you will turn off your microphone. Okay, so are we clear? Very good. Okay, let's begin with this picture. So who has an idea of what is this? Anyone from the class? Yes, Clara? Okay, very good. So this picture is a hairnet. How about this one? Yes, Claire? Very good. So this picture is a mess. For the third picture, let me call Joshua. Okay, very good again. So this picture is a gloves. For the fourth one, yes, Kali? You get it right. So this picture is an apron. And for the last picture, yes, Katie? Alright, so this picture is a shoes. So, based on what have you seen, so who has an idea of what will be our discussion this morning? Yes, Brenda? Very good. So, our topic for this morning is all about the different types of personal protective equipment and their uses. Okay, so for the objectives we have here, at the end of the lesson, you students will be able to. We have first, identify the definition of personal protective equipment. And then second, we have analyze the different types of personal protective equipment used in kitchen. And for the last is, initiate the personal protective equipment in kitchen according to its proper uses. Okay, now let's begin with the hairnet. So, hairnet is advisable to wear, most especially when we are in the kitchen, because sometimes there are some strand of our hair that may possibly lose and end up in our food. So, we all know that our hair is one of the most dirtiest part of our body, right? So, because it is exposed outside, and that's the reason why we need to tie our hair while we are in the kitchen, most especially if we are serving food. So what is the use of hairnet in cooking? So can you please read Ian? Okay, thank you so much. So it is very important to wear hairnet while we are in the kitchen because it will help us to reduce losing of strand that will possibly end up into our food. So just like for example, when we are in the restaurants or some other food establishment, that there are some hair that will that can be seen in the food, so it can make the food dirty and unpleasant. So therefore, we should always use hairnet while we are in the kitchen. Okay, understand? Okay, very good. And the next one is mask. So, wearing face mask or mask is also important because it will help us to prevent spreading of infectious germs. So, why do we need to cover our mouth while we are cooking? Can you please read, Samantha? Okay, thank you so much. So, we need to cover our mouth when we are in the kitchen, most especially if we are cooking, because our mouth carries disease and germs that may affect other people. So sometimes in the restaurants, we cannot deny the fact that if we already enjoy talking with our friends and family, we can accidentally swallow our saliva, right? So, therefore, we should wear our mask, our face mask while we are serving or preparing food. So, the third one is gloves. So, the purpose of glove is to protect our hands from heat object and burns and brushes. So, why it is important to wear gloves when cooking? Let me call Alexa. Okay, so it is very important to wear gloves because it will help us to prevent accidents. So, the fourth is apron. So, the purpose of this one is to protect us from strain that would otherwise make us untidy. So why it is important to wear apron while cooking? Let me hear from Eliza. Okay, very good. So it is very important to wear apron, most especially if we are in the kitchen or if we are cooking, because before we proceed to the kitchen, we're already exposed anywhere, and thus there is a high level of chances that our cloth carries out germs, dust, and dirt from the outside. And for the last one, we have this closed shoes. So using closed shoes greatly helpful, most especially for those people who are working in the restaurants or food establishment, because sometimes there are possible accidents that might be happened and can cause the floor slippery. So why it is important to wear closed shoes in kitchen? So the main reason for this one is to keep our foot out from the accidents, like accidentally pierced by broken glass and other. So it is very important to wear all of those mentioned personal protective equipment aside from it is required, but it also helps us to keep safe and stay away from the accident. So any questions, clarifications, or additional insight about our topic for this morning before we proceed to the activity? Okay, anyone? If none, so that will be the end of our lesson. So I hope that you learned something.